the Vanguard Military Intelligence Company, Regimental Support Squadron, 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment. Today we honor Captain Matthew J. Engelhardt, the outgoing commander, and Captain Bradley D. Vaughn, the incoming commander. Please rise for the national anthem sung by Specialist Rivera, and remain standing for the opening prayer delivered by Chaplain Vandycrawl.
Oh, say, by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight blessed day, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous over the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Had officially inactivated the 511th Military Intelligence Company as a unit attached to the 11th ACR. In the months to follow, Permanent Order 320-80 would be issued, recognizing the removal of the 511th Military Intelligence Company designation and establishing the designation of the Vanguard Military Intelligence Company. A new designation, new commander, and new first sergeant marked the beginning of a time when the MICO would solidify itself as the CTC community's premier military intelligence company. In the past year, elements of the MICO were embedded in every level of COFOR operations. At the division and brigade tactical group levels, MICO soldiers replicated adversarial smoke obscuration teams, air and ground-based intelligence collection assets, and electronic warfare teams. As support to COFOR enablers such as guerrilla forces, insurgents, and criminal organizations, MICO soldiers have been the COFOR's primary component for conducting intelligence fusion and targeting analysis. These actions ensured our soldiers replicated a proficient and determined near-peer enemy and provided world-class training to our military's deploying forces. Yellow roses are now being presented to Courtney Vaughn, welcoming her to the Phantoms and Packhorse family. The Troop First Sergeant in turn passes the guidon back to the guidon bearer for safekeeping. By authority of Army Regulations 600-20, Chapter 2, Paragraphs 2 and 3, the undersigned assumes command of the Vanguard Intelligence Company, Regimental Support Squadron, 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment. Signed, Bradley Vaughn, Captain, MI, Commanding. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the Regimental Support Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Scott M. McFarland.
Travers, fellow commanders and command sergeants majors, troopers, friends, and families of the Phantoms. Thank you again for attending today's ceremonies. Seems like deja vu, like we've done this before, I think. Two great leaders, outstanding troopers in formations. That is the same in these two different ceremonies that we've done this morning. The size of the formation, however, is remarkably different. When you look at this much smaller formation, it always amazes me how much they accomplish every rotation, how incredibly thin they're spread on missions, and how the lowest enlisted troopers are entrusted to execute critical missions and never fail. Phantoms, you all look great and continue to lead by example. Thank you for everything you do in service to the 11th ACR, the NTC, and the nation. Will everyone please give the troopers a round of applause with me? Matt, you've had a phenomenal command tour, and you truly have the most complex company-level mission in the regiment, without a doubt. Whether you're supporting the DTG, the BTG, the DSG, MIBINS, the RTU, and a bunch of other acronyms, you executed without fail. And if you look at the missions, counterintelligence, UAS, EW, SIGINT, Human, Terrorist Explosive Network, working with JIATO, smoke obscuration, cyber operations, interrogation, ACE support, RS2 support, and I could go on and on. With all these missions, your span of control is well beyond where the Army says it should be. Yet, despite the span of control and the ridiculousness of your span of control, you still executed without fault and without complaints. Well, okay, with maybe a few complaints, but every commander is supposed to complain when they aren't able to command their own soldiers. And that only shows me how truly you care about them. And I would be doing the exact same thing, so I'm proud of you for that. I can also tell you that Sergeant Major Shine and I fully agree that you care for these fine soldiers to our front, and they are your priority number one. You want to train them to the utmost and prepare them for combat. And you fought and usually succeeded to get critical intelligence training for your soldiers brought onto post for free. Now, as a logistician, I want to personally thank you for your patience, and more importantly, for not laughing at me when I asked for more details on a particular MI acronym or capabilities of one of the numerous missions that I just gave, systems and equipment. Now, your team always had the answers for me and always had a can-do attitude, except when they'd look at me and say, sir, that's classified. And then they'd proceed to tell me anyways. Captain Engelhardt, you demonstrated daily the technical and tactical abilities required to lead a professional company that touched every organization in the regiment, the RTU, and Ops Group. And they did it every rotation. I wish you the best of luck as you take your quote-unquote tough assignment in Monterey, California, beachfront. I wish I could be going with you, and we all know that. The Phantoms and the Pack Horse will surely miss you. Captain Vaughn, Brad, we welcome you and Courtney to the Pack Horse team. Having served in the regiment, you're lucky to understand the mission and the complexity of the MICO, and I know that during your time as commander, the MICO will sustain new heights in support to the 11th ACR and the NTC. Best of luck to you, and enjoy the ride. Phantoms, Pack Horse, Black Horse, Alans.
Sergeant Major Travers, Lieutenant Colonel McFarland and Mrs. McFarland, Command Sergeant Major Shine, fellow commanders, friends and family of the Vanguard MICO, thank you all for attending today's ceremony. On May 1st, 2012, the 64th Colonel of the Regiment, Colonel Agudo, pulled me aside shortly after I took command of the MICO, and he said something to me that stuck with me throughout my command. He said, Matt, I want you to remember two words, Premier MICO. At the time, I took that to mean that he wanted me to build the company into just that. But after working with these incredible soldiers over the last year, I realize now that Premier MICO is a state of mind. Every soldier in this company already possessed the skills and the drive to be the Army's premier intelligence organization. And I've seen it reflected countless times over during NTC rotations as they've trained our force. The troop commander accomplishes nothing on his own. The troop accomplishes everything. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for the dedicated professionals of the MICO standing before you this morning. I do need to acknowledge some individuals who have helped me with this past year's success. Colonel Ward, thank you, sir, for the honor and privilege of commanding in this regiment.
The 11th ACR has provided me with the best professional education I can expect to receive in this Army. And I'm confident that I can handle any challenge now with a solid foundation and fundamentals of what our combat forces require to drive operations. Lieutenant Colonel McFarland and Command Sergeant Major Shine, you've been an absolutely outstanding command team to work for. I can't remember a single time when, even when you may have disagreed with my exact approach, you didn't go to bat to get the MICO the resources we needed. Your unified approach and leadership style has been the model that I've tried to emulate, and our soldiers are better because you're here. Major Punchon, thank you, sir, for your contributions to improving the capabilities of this company. It certainly doesn't hurt that you're a former commander of this exact MICO, but at the end of the day, we share the same vision of making the 11th ACR's intelligence warfighting function the best in the Army. The EW, UAS, human collection, and tools of our trade are better because you were willing to fight for the resources with us. To my warrant officers, you are technical experts in the first form. You're rare to find even in the larger BCT community, so I was incredibly surprised to find that I had two of the most talented and dedicated in your fields right here at the company level. That doesn't happen anywhere else. So thank you, gentlemen, for teaching me and for teaching the rest of these soldiers so much far beyond what they were able to accomplish otherwise. To my LTs, my XOs, Lieutenant Tui and Centeno, the platoon leaders, Lieutenant Zentner, Sikora, Myers, and Grady, you've all demonstrated that you're the top talent in your field. You're the future S2s and MICO commanders of our force, and I have no doubt that you'll be better than I was when you get to that point. Any future battalion and brigade commanders in the audience would be wise to remember your names. And to First Sergeant Leagueway, thank you, Top, for your boundless enthusiasm and for coming to work with a smile on your face every day. You brought me the balance I needed to counter my own curmudgeonly tendencies and truly had fun in this job. You're a great partner and friend. I'm going to miss working with you. And to Brad, from here on in, all your experiences are things I can't sign over to you on the property book. You're yours alone to discover and enjoy, but you and Courtney can be proud of the MICO family team that you're joining today. You can be proud many times over in the future as well. And I'm positive you're going to have great success.
Regimental Support Squadron, Captain Bradley D. Vaughn.
For all who are in attendance today, I thank you for your support at this ceremony. First, I'd like to thank the Lord above for all the blessings He has given me, and to my wife, Courtney, for all your love and support. Colonel Ward, Command Sergeant Major Travers, Lieutenant Colonel McFarland, Command Sergeant Major Shine, thank you for this opportunity to command such a fine company. To Lieutenant Colonel Bramlett, Command Sergeant Major Simpow, and Major Summers, thank you for your mentorship and guidance while I was in the Eagle Horse Squadron. To Captains Wiles, Stillings, and Kokosa, thank you for being the absolute best S3 Alphas and S2 could ever ask for. First Sergeant, the soldiers look great. Captain Englehart, thanks for turning over such a great company. All policies and procedures remain in effect. This is Phantom 6, signing on the net. Phantoms, Pack Horse, Black Horse, Alons.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's change of command ceremony. Please join Captain Vaughn and Captain Little for a reception at the 11th ACR Museum.
I know. Thank you. Ma'am, congratulations, and I wish you all the best over the holidays.
You're about to have the longest flight ever. Have fun. Oh my God, 2 days.
Yeah.
Did you order them just for today, or you ordered them for
Oh, I didn't order for the field office. I ordered for the Army field.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
For the Susan Sandown, though. That's what it's on Thursday.
You're in jeans and
In the forest area?
yeah.
San Diego Zoo?
Is this in San Diego Zoo? Well, I didn't see you at the ball.
You didn't call me. I was at the ball.
I was at the ball. Me and my wife at the ball. I saw you at the gate. That's about it.
I didn't see it.
At the main door, you got some line up at the main door. You know what's going on.
I didn't see it.
I didn't even wait.
Sorry. Oh. Oh, yeah.
This is gonna be in a video later. Are we gonna be on YouTube?